Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin, and today we're unboxing the Lenovo Chromebook Duet, also called the IdeaPad Duet Chromebook in some markets. So what this is it's a Chrome OS tablet with a keyboard. And Lenovo doesn't really like calling it a tablet because it's a full computer, because it's got the attachable keyboard and it's pretty cool. And there's a new tablet mode that's meant to be more intuitive. This is the first product that has it, and it's got more gesture supports, and we're going to check that out in a little bit. So it's got I'm going to look at this MediaTek Helio P60T, 4 gigs of RAM, 10.1 inch Full HD display, 64 or 128 gigs of storage, and 4 gigs of RAM. Now, it starts at $279, and for the 128 gigabyte model, it's $299, which is a really impressive price. Now, consider it's small, it's got a small display, but it weighs in at just over 2 pounds. That's with the keyboard attached. Without the keyboard attached, it's under a pound. Now, also, it comes with the keyboard. That's really impressive. Again, at that price point, that's pretty cool. So let's get this open. Okay. It's for embargo on May 11th. Anyway, let's pull this open. This is the tablet itself, and if we have a look, all right. Oh, it's a nice little two-tone design there. Almost looks like it's designed by Google's Pixel team right there. It's got that look, So let's just start booting this up. Am I gonna have to charge it first? I might. Oh, there it goes. All right. So let's look at what else is in the box, because remember, we do have a keyboard in here. So, okay. Now, got a little bit of paperwork down here. And over here, we're going to find the charger. Let's see it does have a USB-C 2.0 port. There's a USB-C to 3.5 millimeter adapter, so you can plug in headphones. Although that does mean that there's no headphone jack on the device itself. Oh, here's a Type A to Type C cable. And over here, we're going to find our power adapter. And this is just a regular 10-watt charger. Now, let's take a look at the keyboard, because this is one of the most important parts of the device, because the whole idea, because if it's just a tablet, then it might as well just run Android. Okay, so over here, here's our keyboard, attachable keyboard. All right, over here, we've got the Kickstand, which is attachable as well. Let's just slide this out. So what this does, all right, it's pretty simple. Am I putting it on right? I am. It snaps right on the back there. All right, and we can pull this out and stand it up. So the whole idea is to really not make compromises and still be able to give someone a productivity and entertainment experience at that really low price point. Like a lot of people ask me what laptop they should buy and whatever. And I say, well, how much are you looking to spend? That's the first question, because some people are willing to shell out for something premium, and then some people say something along the lines of like $300. And so what do you tell someone? You say buy a Chromebook. I mean, I'm a Windows guy myself, but at that price point, you can't get something good that runs Windows. It just doesn't work that way. So you can run Chrome OS on lower specs, like 4 gigs of RAM and a Helio P60T processor, and it still does a great job. Lenovo made a big deal of saying that this boots up in under 8 seconds. And again, it's something that costs $300. So this is the idea, a full PC experience at that price point. So now you have with the keyboard attached, it's a laptop, you can pull it off, it's a tablet, you can stand it up, you can pull it off, and then you can go and sit and read or whatever. That's my favorite thing to do with tablets. I'm a big reader, So I'm gonna set this up. All right, so first, let's just take a look. All right, this is the package on its own. Fold it up, you can carry it around. There's not much over here. Speakers on top there. All right, USB Type-C port, volume rocker, power button. All right, so the like I said, the kickstand easily just pops on and off. Oh, it's because I was holding it down. All right, I am still new to this product. Like I said, I do love that two-tone design there. That looks pretty cool. It's a nice touch. All right, it's a metal design, which is nice. And then of course the keyboard portion pops off as well. We have the pins to connect it down there, and that's our Chromebook Duet. So let's get everything back on here. It's all really easy and intuitive to set up. And of course, Chrome OS is easy to set up as well, because you're really just signing in with a Google account. And since it's such a cloud native OS, there's nothing, there's not too much to go through in the out of box experience. All right, so this thing comes up when we start it up. Oh, I'm not attached properly. You can see it goes into that windowed mode when it attaches to the keyboard. And then when it's not attached, that's when it goes full screen. Okay, so this is basic stuff just to set up your Chromebook. You do have the option, of course, of going to the Google Play Store and getting Android apps if if general Chrome OS apps from the Chrome Web Store aren't enough. You can see I have OneNote Online that automatically populated. Now, when I set it up, it does give me an option to connect my phone. Now, the phone, it just gives you a drop-down list of the phones that are on your account. So it's not sending a QR code or anything. And it says that it will automatically install apps and stuff like that. So that's nice. These things are populating from just other Chromebooks that I've had. So that's interesting. But one thing it doesn't do, by the way, when it's connecting your phone, it's not setting up Google Messages on the web for some reason. You still have to set that up via a QR code. Okay. Now, we're going to look at some of these gestures. So we're going to go right into tablet mode here. And you can see that as soon as I pull the keyboard off, the all apps screen loads. And so we can pull up Chrome or something. And now this is going to support more gestures. So a long swipe up is going to bring us, by the way, very similar to Android gestures. So really Google brought a lot of this stuff that's working on Android to Chrome OS tablets, and it's one way to make these things work better together. So that long press up makes you go home. All right, and I lost Chrome there. There it is. A short swipe up, you can see our pinned apps here, and that stays in a sort of dock on the bottom. And see, that's the thing. On Chrome, on Android, that would take you to a multitasking screen. But something like pulling up those pinned apps really makes a little bit more sense on something like Chrome OS. Okay, so you can also swipe up on and hold, and you can drag a window to the side and go to split screen, right? And then you'll see those recent items over here, and those will let you, you'll be able to pick from that to do the other screen. So, by the way, you can drag up and hold and go to multitasking. And then, of course, if you swipe from the left side, you can go back to your previous screen. And that brought us back because that's the next place that the backstack was at. So that's the gestures that you get in tablet mode here. And it's a pretty intuitive experience because it's going to be consistent throughout the OS. Again, similar to Android, because we do have support for Android apps on Chrome OS, and I can bring back up the Play Store for an example. Now, we used to have just these buttons to navigate with, and that was, similar to what Android had at the time. Now Android uses swipe gestures, and so Chrome OS is going to have that too. It's pretty cool. There is pen support on here as well, but the pen does not come in the box. Everything that you're getting here for $300, you can buy a pen. Like there's a lot that you're getting here for $300, and this all feels pretty premium especially considering that price. So the kickstand is See, there's that little notch over here. Um, it's almost a little hard to pull out, but you gotta try to be aware of that notch so you can pull it out like this. I keep kind of playing around with it. I'm sure I'll get used to it after using the products for a little bit, but yeah, that's what we got for the Chromebook Duet. Another thing that's interesting is that this reviewer's guide actually promises up to 8 years of updates. And so it's not that's particularly surprising because Chrome OS updates alongside the Chrome browser. So you will get updates every 6 weeks as Chrome gets updated. And there's no reason to stop supporting it at any point. So I don't think I've ever seen a Chromebook that actually set a time of how long you're going to get updates for. It's also particularly interesting to me because there is an Android subsystem in there that's running, and I assume that the Android portion of it is not updated for 8 years. But who knows? There's I really wouldn't know, but because obviously Android devices are updated for outside of the realm of pixels, 2 years at best. But there is that focus on Android apps. Lenovo is pushing for productivity, Microsoft Office, which you can get from the Google Play Store. For entertainment, Disney Plus, Netflix, all that stuff, which you can get through the Google Play Store. And of course, you can use offline. Now, Office, though, you can also use that through the Chrome browser. You can use Office Online, which is great. It's available in the Chrome Web Store. And so, I mean, honestly, on a Chromebook, I haven't used the Android apps in a while, but on a Chromebook, I would probably go to those first because they are pretty great. You just sign in with your Microsoft account, you're good to go, and they're free. On a 10.1 inch screen like this, those Microsoft Office is free on screens under 10 inches. It's either under 10 inches or 10 or under, but at 10.1 inches, you definitely got to pay for Office if you use the apps. If you use Office Online, those are free for everybody on any size screen. So you can go ahead and do that. But yeah, other than that, Netflix, Disney Plus, Asphalt 9 is another thing that they mentioned in the guide. And obviously all stuff coming from the Google Play Store. Google Assistant is there as well. And of course, integration with all of your Google services. You know, Chrome, there's Google Drive for storage. And that's an issue that I have personally is that Chrome OS in general is really all about pushing these Google services, whereas in other operating systems like Mac OS and Windows, you can just use whatever you want. Like there's no way to use OneDrive instead of Google Drive on Chrome OS. Like you can't just swap out the cloud storage. So yeah, it's pretty cool. This is a nice little device here. You know, like talking about that cross between entertainment and productivity, and it seems to get the job done. You know, and for a really great price. So I'll have a review on this in a couple weeks, and stay tuned for that. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.